Alright, some more bracketology. This one's on the UCLA Bruins. The Pac-12 champions they were crowned today after, I guess, upsetting Arizona. I didn't think it was much of an upset. I thought UCLA. I think they're one of the best teams in the Pac-12. I like them better than Zona. I don't like Zona this year at all. I really don't like Zona at all. Their free throws terrible, but I'm not gonna talk about Arizona. Um, UCLA is 26-8 this year. They weren't ranked in the top 25 at the beginning of this week. I'm sure they would be if the new AP poll were to come out. But last week was the last AP poll due to the brackets coming out tomorrow. They were ranked RPI 16 though this week, so that's pretty good. Um, the most important thing about them, they earlier in the year they played Duke. Uh, they played Zona twice, beat them once, lost to them once. Um, they played a lot of big teams. Duke, they got beat by 17 back in December. Um, they also lost at Mizzou, who's maybe a tourney team. Those are some non-conference teams they played. Um, they have 6 wins versus tourney teams. Um, and versus RPI top 50, they're 8-5. The most, a couple of well, here's one thing first off too. Their offense is incredible. They can score with the best of them, and I think in the tournament the defense is big. Defense is big, but I do think scoring is big in its own right. Depending on the team, because you can be the best defense in the world, but if you can't score, you can't win. So it's weird. It's based off the fitting of your team, and that's why it comes down to matchups. Like say a defense team plays another team that's kind of good at offense, well, that defense team's probably going to win. But if you have this up-tempo, fast team that can score the best of them in a pretty good defense, well, who knows? If that team's on and scores, they're going to blow you out the park and you can't keep up. And I think UCLA is one of those teams. They're 10th in the nation in points per game. They're 5th in the nation in assists per game, and they're 9th in the nation in field goal percentage. They're a very good offense, very fast paced, and they have smart players. Um, Most importantly, Adams leads the team with 17 points per game, but their best player, who I think is arguably the best player in the nation, no one talks about, is Kyle Anderson. 6'9", runs the point. Um, Kyle Anderson is averaging 15 points a game, 9 rebounds a game, and 7 assists per game. That's like almost that's almost triple double numbers. 15, 9, and 7. That's incredible in college. Kyle Anderson. I think he'll be a player that we're gonna be hearing about in at the end of this weekend once UCLA is in Sweet 16. Um, and the most intriguing thing I like about UCLA right now is this: the last 3 days Pac-12 tournament, they played Oregon, beat them by 19. Oregon was one of the hottest teams. People were talking about them, talking about how Oregon won 7 in a row coming Pac-12 tournament. People were on Oregon, beat them by 19. Stanford, who's 21-12, who's desperate for wins to get in the tournament. I don't know if they're going to make it now, but their RPI is ranked number 41. Stanford beat them by 25. And today in the championship, comes in and and upset to most people, beats Arizona by 4. And at times they were up double digits, throughout earlier in the game. And even at the end of the game, a close fought game where they needed big buckets, got big buckets. UCLA ended up beating Arizona by 4, but back in 3 consecutive days, beat Oregon, Stanford, and Zona, hot teams. Steve Alford doing a great job his first year as head coach. Came over from New Mexico. Um, Steve Alford led this team his first year, 26-8. One of the hottest teams coming into the tournament. Watch out for the UCLA Bruins. I'm going UCLA Bruins Sweet 16. Based off, let's see where they get seeded. Let's see where. Oh, and that seeding with the win in this tournament, I could see them as good as a 3 seed, but I could see them anywhere from a 3 to 5 based on where the tournament puts this run, this Pac-12 championship run, how much they value that, um, and then with their body of work for the season. But I'll go UCLA a 3 to 5, anywhere in that range. And I'm going UCLA Sweet 16 based on the matchup. All right, cheers.